Okay, what's up, guys? I'm still on my walk. I'm just walking around Lakeland, Florida, Medela, to be exact. And I was thinking about time travel also. What's interesting is that a lot of scientists and physicists, starting with Albert Einstein, believe that time travel is possible. I mean, not the actual time travel that we're doing right now, because we're time traveling into the future, but we're doing it 1 second at a time, or however you want to, whatever unit of measurement for time that you want to use. But also, I'm talking about like jumping into the future, maybe even the past, despite the whole grandfather thing. But the thing about time is that it goes on forever. So Albert Einstein and a lot of physicists are coming to the conclusion that time travel is possible, but we just don't have the technology to do it, and therefore it doesn't exist. But the crazy thing about that is that time goes on forever, like forever. So just as we drive around in automobiles right now, we fly planes, things like that. Now, everything that we needed to make an automobile has always existed on the planet. We just now acquired the means to make them. So, but technically, a car could have been built a million years ago if you think about it like that. So, in addition to that, just because we don't have the means for it today, we don't know what the future will provide, assuming that we are there. Because, well, we all know that we're gonna die one day, but we never, consider that we as a species will be here. Just like plenty of species have died out before we were here, and even as we were here. So not only could we or another species can develop a means of time traveling in the future, but that also means, just like the automobile, it's also possible that time travelers can actually come from the past. Because, well, the Earth as we know it is about 4.5 billion years old, this planet Earth. And so our current technology that we're using today, in a digital age and a silicon age and things like that, post-industrial age, we've just acquired all of that in the past 200 years. And our species alone, as modern Homo sapiens, mankind, has been in existence for, depending on who you ask, 50,000, 100, and 50,000 years. So if all that can be accomplished in 200 years, then there's really no telling what could be done in even 100,000 in our own time. What you have to consider is sometimes knowledge could be lost. Like if you had an airplane full of everybody from the modern world, with all their knowledge of the technology that we have available. Some can actually create it, some just know of it, some can only manipulate it once it is created, like an iPhone. And they crashed somewhere, and they were away from what we know as modern civilization for generations upon generations, they can't duplicate the things that they began with. They know about iPhones, they know about cars, they know about planes, or knew about it, they told stories about it, but they can't make it. They don't have the means to make it. They don't have the mining capabilities or the manufacturing capabilities to do it without everybody involved. So, but at the same time, all of that stuff exists or has existed. I wonder, I've asked people this a lot, and I wonder how long would it take for all evidence of our existence to disappear from the earth. Keeping in mind that the earth has already been here 4 billion years, 4.5 billion years, I think it is. So, would it be a million years? Like, what would be left here after a million years? 200 million years. 200 million years is only, 1/5 of a billion years. So, my question is, how long would it take for all evidence, depending on what you call evidence, of our existence, not only our existence, but our technological capabilities, how long would that last? Or would they just find our bones? If that. Depending on how it is that we became extinct. God forbid, maybe. Depending on who you ask. But how long would that take? Look at my falcon. Well, it's not my falcon. Can you see it? Never mind. Anyways. So yeah, that's an interesting question. Some people think that existence or evidence of our existence would just be here forever. Like how? Like, you have so many things that can cover up. Like when you're talking about millions of years, you're talking about layers upon layers of earth covering things. Plants growing over things once the earth covers it. You have water. You know what I'm saying? Flooding places, and then you have water leaving places where water once existed. And it would kind of be hard to know the layout of human civilization for the most part. I mean, you probably will find some of it, but there's really no telling. A lot of stuff goes underwater, a lot of stuff rises out the water. So I just wonder about things like that. I think that's it. I would like to know other people's thoughts on this. So that's my take on time travel and stuff like that. So this is the adventure of Errol Fisher. Or these are the adventures of Errol Fisher. However, AOE 2020. Holla at me. Peace. So going back to the whole time traveling thing, I forgot to mention. I don't know if it dawned on anybody or if it is anything worth dawning on people. But what I was saying is, if time travel is possible and time goes on forever in the future and into the past, and we're talking about forever, I imagine that it's bound to be accomplished or has been accomplished. Just like our automobiles and computers and everything that we have today has been created even though the resources were always here, we just never been able to utilize them or manipulate them properly. And if that is the case, then to me, that quite possibly means that there are actually time travelers among us. You know, never mind, I saved that for a different video. Alright, I'm gonna get back on my adventures. I'll holler at you guys. AOE 2020, you know what it is. Peace.